Okay. Tonight we're going to go ahead and kick off to Monday, August 21st, Technology Committee meeting. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. Kevin Strobel.
Steve Rittenhouse.
Julia Olson.
Tom Volker.
Scott Metz.
Angela Owens.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started then. Project updates.
All right. Just running through our summer fun. So before we start on projects, actually one of the things that we encountered this summer was some turnover in staffing to start off the summer. We had our elementary tech, Gary Wright, moved on to a new position, as well as our lead technician, Chase Endy, also moved on to a new position. Both of them we were obviously very happy for. Gary found something I think a little bit more in his specific interest in the technology sphere, and then Chase always knew that was a when, not if. He was a great employee, and we knew he'd advance higher callings at that point. So we were lucky though, start off the year fully staffed. We've hired Ethan Madera, who is actually joining us from the Reading School District, and that's been a great asset just because he's bringing existing school district experience. He can share just some information about how they handle certain things or different issues they've encountered. So I'm always thrilled when we can hire someone who already has education experience. And then a familiar name for us came back in the lead technology role. That's Louis Olszewski. He had left at the end of December to go to another district that we shall not name, the Brandywine Heights School District. So he is the second employee this summer to realize it's great to come back.
I wonder if
to
anybody proselytized him over from over there that was involved with the technology. You know what I mean?
It's a total mystery. So we are thrilled to have Louis back.
That's all good.
And it's been fantastic because I actually just said to Mr. Volker, onboarding was very easy because I just had to catch him up on this is what's changed between January and June. So he's diving right in. He was very well liked. Previously, he served at the elementary buildings and was very well liked at that level. And I'm sure now working in a district capacity, he will similarly do well.
I have to ask, did the expenses go up hiring both of them?
They did not.
They did not.
We are within
cost neutral. I like that.
We are within the contract.
Okay.
So yeah, we're looking forward to the start of the year. Obviously, with both those positions in place, it's always a little hairy with turnover in the summer because that's our busy time. But we were able to weather the storm, thankfully, and that's it on the staffing side. So diving into projects. So if we think way back to June, last time we met, and we were talking about the launch of our website. That did occur as scheduled in early June, so that is live, along with our new app, both of those powered by Aptigee. Our voice and email notifications are also going out via Aptigee since that time. And one of the great things that we're seeing, if you remember when we were discussing the migration to Aptigee, we wanted it to be able to allow us to have more users contributing content to the system. So previously there was about 3 users in the Blackboard system. As of today, we have 28 users in Aptigee contributing content, and I know that number will continue to go up just as we become more comfortable with the systems, particularly in our buildings, as the principals develop their marketing team, so to speak. So we're already seeing the benefits of that system.
Did voice and email go out through them too as well?
Yes, voice and email, correct. As well, social media, we can send out alerts, and the app notifications all originate through Aptigee. So we have a one-stop shop for that information, and we're looking forward to looking at new ways we can continue to highlight the positives that are going on in the district and having a multitude of information coming through to our families. Going down the list, we started hitting some of the more routine projects for us. So our iPads are ready for the start of the school year. Our incoming kindergarten students will receive their device when they come back, as well as our freshmen here at the high school. A number of the freshmen have already received their devices. They participated in freshman orientation earlier this month. The remainder are either picking them up in the building offices, or they will receive them on the first day of school. There is dedicated time for any student who still needs to receive them. Our other grades retain their devices throughout the summer for summer academic connections and other programming, so they will return with their device in hand, so we do not have a ton of overhead needed to distribute devices this school year. Similarly, our computer labs are ready to go. So this summer, the computer lab that was being updated was the digital art lab at the high school. that is ready to go. So we were able to issue them MacBooks at their request for Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator. So they will have those for day one. No delivery delays or anything occurred this year.
Your MacBooks, you said?
They are MacBooks.
How
That's
many do you
correct.
have?
30.
And they use them in class, they stay in class?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah, the graphics on those things are way better, so.
Yes. I know the art department was thrilled for that update. Their existing laptops were aging as is, but now we certainly have something more designed to their specific curricular
Yep.
area. The interactive whiteboards are in. Installation of those is ongoing. The interactive boards that are on carts are set up and installed. The interactive boards that are being wall mounted are in progress, so we are complete at the high school with that installation process. They are in progress for the middle school and intermediate center, and then we'll be moving along to the primary center as well. We appreciate the maintenance department has been assisting us in that endeavor, as that exceeds our expertise in determining the best way to mount and anchor those, so we appreciate their assistance on that one. We should have those all wrapped up shortly after the start of the school year, and we've been in communication with all the faculty members to let them know, timelines and as they're progressing through, so they know what to expect. We did not remove anything from their classrooms to allow them to start the year, with no bumps in the road. That we removed equipment and did not replace it with the new equipment, so they will be able to start the year without any issues. Looking at professional learning, we had a number of technology-related professional learning opportunities this summer through the Day 190 program, and they were very well received. We had over 100 registrations for tech-related sessions, so that varied from how to use specific applications to obtaining either Apple or Google certifications. They also participated in digital lesson design and also just working in their learning management systems such as Schoology, Seesaw, that sort of thing. So thrilled with the number of participants we had there. Dr. Treehouse receives a ton of credit from our office for the tech-related, as well as the other instructional coaches also led out on a variety of tech-related things, so we greatly appreciate that, and it's a great opportunity just because the teachers can engage it a little bit more on their own terms rather than sit and listen to this person for 100 minutes and you don't get to choose what the topic is. This, they had some choice to listen to topics and engage in tools that were of direct interest to them, so we were thrilled with that. Beyond that, normal rollover activities are wrapping up for us. All accounts are created, getting applications set up for the start of the year. That's routine stuff for us. That's all ready for the start of the year. And at this point, we're really dealing with the increase in ticket loads now as teachers come back and have the one-off questions, and certainly that'll keep increasing through the month of September. Last year we saw it peak in September. Sometimes it'll push into October, but thus far we're on schedule, so to speak, as far as our normal volume is concerned. So we'll really buckle up and let another school year begin. Any questions on the project front?
No, it sounds good.
All right. Under the student information system heading, put an agenda item labeled iPad incident reporting, and it honestly could go in a couple different areas. I listed it under student information system because it involves Infinite Campus. So we replaced our iPads last year at the elementary level after 3 years, so to me that is a sign obviously of maturing program that we're in round 2. So we made adjustments this summer to what did we think was working, what did we think wasn't working, and we had a discussion within our office just around documentation, tracking of iPad incidents, and how can we improve that. So this is things like I lost my cable, I broke my screen, those kind of items. So what we were able to do this year is set up a process. As those incidents are recorded in our help desk, it'll automatically send that information to Infinite Campus to keep our parents more informed of the incident, whether or not there's a fee. But if there is a fee, it'll allow them to pay online. Previously, we had payments coming in either online, we had cash, we had check. It was coming in from a variety of areas. It wasn't necessarily the best way to track it. It was very manual, and there's much more streamlined capabilities in campus to automatically route that information into the system. So we are doing that this year.
Auto reports to the parent too as well?
Yes, correct.
That's awesome.
And one additional piece we're adding on, just as the program matures, the newness of the devices wearing off at the end of last year, saw a slight uptick in the number of damage incidents, just as it's not a shiny new toy/tool, so to speak. So we're pulling our principals in for a more standard and consistent reporting process. All of our techs had relationships with building principals to keep in touch with them for any frequent flyers, that sort of thing. This, however, will send all information over to them, allowing them to see the incidents that are occurring and any incident that is resulting in a fee, either because the student did not purchase our insurance or because it's a repeat incident. It gives the principals the ability to prove that charge and allow them to intervene if there are extenuating circumstances that we're not aware of, any family situations, any home economic issues, that sort of thing. But again, it's standardized our communication process, our reporting process as well with the building administrators, and just formalizes the process that was occurring, but not necessarily in a programmatic way. Now it's happening programmatically. As of today, we were at about a 15% insurance rate. That's about accurate for this time of year in August. Next week, we'll make an even bigger push to get that rate up. Typically in September is when we see that start increasing
When you say
rapidly.
15, why would you want that to go up? 15% claims?
Participating in the insurance. Parents have purchased the insurance.
Okay.
No, we do not want the claims to go up.
Like,
You are
wait a minute,
correct.
what are you talking about?
No, we want the claims to go down. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
My apologies. 15% of parents have participated in the program, and we give the first 2 weeks of school to sign up. So
What's it typically for each year?
around 30 to 35%.
Really?
Yes.
I expected it to be higher than that.
What
It's
we-
fairly inexpensive. I mean,
Yeah, what we saw last year is families know their student, is what I'm going to say. So the families who participated almost certainly had an insurance claim.
I gotcha.
We did not see a ton of off insurance claims. So
I gotcha.
I think mom and dad probably know likelihood that their student may drop the device and is
and the
purchasing
insurance cost per
appropriately.
year?
$25 for full, yes, thank you, full price, and $15 for economically disadvantaged.
Really inexpensive.
Yeah,
I mean,
correct.
It's a good
And-
model.
Yeah.
and the account's good. I mean, right? What are we keeping in there? Is there a dollar figure? Like, is there an over under that we keep? Like, if it goes to 70, we only need 30. We take 40 back out, and I don't know what we do with it. Maybe you keep it for the underprivileged families to help pay off some of that things. I don't really know.
So the money has been accruing year over year. Some of it has gone towards just the iPad lease. We were
Okay.
just having a discussion actually last week. Once this year's collection is largely done, look at where we're at and shift some of that money, because we are at a point where the fund currently exceeds what we reasonably can anticipate needing
Right.
to cover
And then
claims.
you can, and over time too, I mean, I'm sure there's information out there. Like, I can tell you on a prepaid maintenance program in the car industry, it's 15%. I mean, you can almost live and die by that. I mean, it might go up 2%, it might go down 2%. That's the number. So there's a number out there for us that, so if we collect, $100, you need to make sure 15's away. I would put 30, I always double it just to be sure, in case you have some event, like, they're all outside, or something, flash flood, but, something like that, but, yeah. And so the money, when it gets pulled out of there, we haven't pulled any at this point since we started the program.
We haven't pulled any that hasn't been directly related to expenses or repairs
I got
and
you.
that kind of equipment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And last item, just Mr. Troll, a question you had around the Route Finder emails going out, so check with that. We have 2,000 active accounts as of today, so parents are registering, and it represents about it.
And that's on,
Stop Finder,
Stop Finder.
sorry, Stop Finder. So we have about 2/3 of the accounts created. Mrs. Kern Smith was able to give me information as of this morning. We were at about 1,900 accounts, and then prior to this meeting, we were up over 2,000. So
it's about a third of it.
yeah, it's actively ongoing. So
Year over year, I mean, what do you typically see in terms of participation from parents? What number are we shooting for? Are we shooting for 50%? I mean, obviously, you'd like to see 100%. It's not going to happen, but,
if we use Infinite Campus as the bar, that's around a 90% now, 4 years in. That first year, we hit, at the start of the school year, we were at about 40%, and then that rapidly increased when we hit quarter one.
as soon as they need it.
Yes.
I got you.
Yes.
So just one thing to keep in mind, this is the first year that the bus information is only in the Stop Finder app. So
Right.
it's gonna skew our numbers a little bit.
Okay.
So where previously parents didn't need to necessarily download that app, now they need to get that information.
Was this the year to do that? I'm
Well,
just
considering the
suggesting.
fact that there
Let's
were
add a new
issues and
wrinkle.
errors with Infinite Campus last year,
Yes.
when we were talking about how that data is going to migrate and how we can take out those variables to minimize the errors.
Right.
This was the way that had the least amount of errors possible.
Stop Finder is versus Infinite Campus.
Correct.
Yeah, because we did have challenges over and over and over every year. It's like Groundhog's Day. I mean,
Yep.
you know, or the definition of insanity, you keep doing the same thing, expect a different result, right?
Correct.
So this is one that's been proven out better for everybody, all that.
So
Okay.
when you heard Mr. Max talk about Route Finder, that's kind of like the back end to Stop Finder. That's the system where all the data lives.
Gotcha.
So instead of having that port over, in, and out of Infinite Campus,
Right.
this minimizes that variability, and it's just within this system.
Great. And how was the kickoff for this year? Pretty smooth? In terms of the data sticking, because that was in the past, Rob, you can attest to that.
Yeah,
That was always the problem.
The major problem that we had, which was the overwriting between the two software packages. And so this app has been very effective so far. Just a couple small hiccups in regards to, emails going to spam folders. People were looking for a Daniel Boone email rather than one from Stop Finder. Then say, look for this, and so your spam, they find it right away. But in terms of identifying several issues, but the major issue was that overwriting, and this appears to have resolved that issue as intended.
That was a continuous issue every year. Every year I've been here, that's one of the topic of conversation. You know, how do you get that to transfer up there? When it breaks, what do you do? So that's great news. That's going to be a big win in terms of making it better for everybody.
And
Awesome.
then there's also going to be a transportation update specific to transportation at the beginning of the voting meeting then as well, just to kind of go over some of these items as well.
Yeah, awesome. Any questions? Nope. That will conclude our technology meeting.